Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Always so happy to find you here. I do upload on Mondays and Thursdays and a short philosophical upload on Fridays to kick off our weekend. Welcome to any new subscribers. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you stay for a good long while. Bring a friend with you next time. I have always wanted to do an upload in reference to the Matrix. I often use it as a reference to anyone that is what I call transitioning the currency in their life, I'll say. A changing, going from marriage to divorce, moving from one country to another, changing the transition of it, the trajectory of it, being forced into that or making that by choice. Even the choice of the matter can feel daunting and difficult. Some issues where a person may or may not have the person in their life they want by their own fault, which makes it even more painful because they caused the rift or the reason that person isn't with them, and they're too afraid or too embarrassed or full of remorse. All of these difficult issues in life that are out of your final control, I'll say, that feels daunting, that feels daunting is a word, but that's I want to go beyond daunting. That feels that should you could change it, if you could, you would. That feels dark night of the soulish, that feels awkward, that you don't know what the outcome would be, I'd say. And at times, particularly at times by which that occurs in our life, because we've never had it in our lives, feels uncomfortable and battle for us, I'll say. Because no one can seem to help you. No one can make that marriage happen again. No one can make that mate did what they did undone. No one can save that career that was ruined. All of these things that are out of your control, even court, even the final verdict in a court that you may be, all of these things that I'm saying that seems above us is what I'm saying. Dark. Even the loss of a loved one by death, I'll say. But in learning to move into that placement of our lives is what I'm saying. Particularly when we have a new choice in the matter. Like if you lose a loved one, you don't have a new choice in that matter because that person won't be returning to you in this life form. But like I said, as a career or perhaps a lost love that maybe with the stroke of the universe, you can recounter that and appreciate it better this time. So having said that, I often refer back and reference the Matrix and what Neo was going through when he was coming out of the Matrix. It was like it was the hardest part where Neo was first pulled out of the Matrix itself, and his body is kind of just like almost like he's a dead man. And for a few minutes, they're showing these different scenes where he's kind of repairing his body with the needles and stuff, trying to get him back to where he can actually use his body, because he's basically been like in a pot of dough, or he's just not been able to function. I mean, if you've seen the Matrix and various ones of the Matrix, you know this story. So I'm not giving it away, and I'm trying to recall it accurate to tie this to this talk. But the point I'm making is when Neo finally tries to open his eyes, he says, "Why do my eyes hurt?" He says, "Why do my eyes hurt?" And Morpheus responds, "Because you've never used them before." Now, that's the point of this talk, I would say, in that a lot of times what we see in our new vernacular of life after such a transition, the clarity, the illumination, the different juxtaposition of it, feels like, why didn't I ever see this before? Because you never had the eyes to see that before. We never had the eyes to see that before. And what you see now and what you do with what you see now and how you process that moving forward now becomes a choice. And it's almost as if you're left with that choice. I did a talk before where I referenced the movie Castaway. And there was never any expectation for him to ever get off of that island. But when he did, everything that he knew had changed. Even the love of his life, in which he cherished her picture and used that as his encouragement to even try to get off of the island. When he got back, she was married with a child and living a totally different life. Also, I referenced the movie Overboard, which has the same type of funny, comical, but messaging, in that when she woke up from that coma of not knowing who she was, only to find out that she had been duped into someone else. When she realized that, who would she want to be now? And she has a conversation with the butler saying, "I've been awful, but now what should I do?" And he says to her, "Madam, you've had such a lot in life that someone like you have a choice. Most of us live a very minuscule life in comparison. What you do with yours at this point is up to you." And so I suppose this is the point of my talk, in that should you ever have had such a challenge, dark night of the soul, transition, life transition, awakening to something different and something deeper, that now your eyes hurt to see it, but you can now see it. What you do from that point forward is up to you. And it would be great if we were given what to do, so that we can know that after going through all that, we're going to make the best choice, the right choice, the absolute profound choice. But the universe doesn't give us. It's kind of like up to you. You have a clean slate, new platform by which you can move forward. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. The love of your life, that's the one. Get it. The career of your choice, that's the one. Go for it. Reconciliation with your parents, mother, father, sister, do it. Because after all, what a journey you had, that few ever get a chance, as stated in the movie The Overboard from the Butler. That you're the one who's rare. Just like Neo. You're the one who's rare. You're the one who's gifted. It felt heavy while you were in it, but so few ever did. You were the chosen one for that. You're the king. You are the king. You are the queen. You are the one that so few others never, ever got this opportunity. Not in this lifetime. You're the one to make a difference. You're the one to get that true love now. You never got it before. You're the one to get that great career now. You never had it before. You're the one who the gatekeepers can't keep you out no more. You got a credential by this. Now let me say this part. Because you're so rare, people will look at you sideways because they've never seen such a thing. They'll be impressed. Don't let them drink your positive energy because they will. People are energy vampires. So a part of what you do with all this is shielding it. Now, we want to give it away, but if it was to be given away, everybody would have got it. You are the one who's rare. You're the king, you're the queen, you're the realm. Doesn't mean you're better than anyone. It just means you were chosen. You had a matrix. And be grateful you got out of it, at least somewhat sane enough to recognize. You woke, you ready, you're badass. Trust me. You're badass. Go get your chick. Go get your God. Go get your thing. Whatever it is that woke you up, that too has value. So surround yourself, just like Neo has, with those who recognize who you are and how rare you are and value that. And what you do with it is up to you. But make it of great value because you are. 1,000% you are. Now, why am I recording this now after 3 years of a channel and I'm finally getting to it? I feel it's because this rare component of a person has been asked to appear before more of us. And if it's you or I or anyone else, a part of this journey is that those who can see it can see it. That's why they recognize you a king. That's why they recognize you're a queen. That's why they recognize you're a badass. That's why they recognize who you are when you walk in the room. It's an essence, I'll say. It's not at all ego and I'm all that. That person, to go through that matrix, the ego had to disappear. That was a part of the carving and the shaping and the dead-like atmosphere. So the person can rise better, live better, have better. And don't you deserve it? Just like in Castaway, just like in Overboard, just like in Matrix. One thing those movies were smart enough to do is to not tell us what happened with their life thereafter, because that's up to you. So if there's a queen and you're it, then make the best choice. If there's a king and you're it, then make the best choice. But go and get whatever you want, because guess what? There's no gatekeepers. If you truly did go through a matrix, I'll put it this way. This I do know. If you did truly go through a matrix, there's no answer no to any of your efforts. All the doors, there's no gatekeepers, all the doors would open. If you're through with it, if you finished it, everything is yes now. This is why in the movie in Castaway, the very last line in the movie was, which way should I go? And the universe says to him, it doesn't matter. Their success is whichever way you do go. So do that. Get whatever you want. Reunite with someone, whatever you want. Get that. They'll take that. They cannot tell you no. And the only reason they tell you no is that you didn't try. Okay? And I love you. If you've gotten this far, please click like and click subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Good night. Goodbye. See you next time.